Hey there, you found Cameras and Car Seats, the podcast for photographers who are tired of being told to hustle harder while trying to remember if you grabbed diapers at your last Target run. I'm Jamie, your destination adventure elopement photographer who somehow manages to adventure with couples while raising tiny humans.
And I'm Alex, holding down the Lincoln Logs in the Midwest traditional wedding scene, proving you can crush those weekend weddings and still make it to family dinner. If you're editing in the pickup line, scheduling client calls during nap time, or just trying to figure out how to run a profitable photography business without sacrificing your family life, you're in the right place. We're dropping real, actionable advice that actually works for mom photographers.
No bro marketing, no toxic hustle culture, just two photographer moms keeping it real about making this whole business thing work while raising our families. So grab your watered down iced coffee.
Ignore that pile of laundry for another hour or day.
And let's dive into today's episode.
Hi, welcome back to the show. Today we are doing a Q&A episode. So we had people sending us questions on DMs, Facebook group, comments, Threads.
Threads is popping off a little bit.
It's super fun over there, actually.
So you know what's really funny is I left Threads because I was like, feels a little negative. So I left Threads and then now I'm back on Threads with Cameras and Car Seats. But I kind of like the podcast, home feed versus like a photographer home feed. You know what I mean?
There's different subsections essentially of Threads. And then they have different categories. And so the podcast side of Threads is really fun and encouraging.
I have to look at you more. Yeah. So hi YouTube. No.
Okay, so let's dive in. I will go with our first question, which I feel like is very fitting because we just had some lattes made and we're at my house today. Okay. And so we got to test out my new espresso machine.
Question number 1, ding, ding, ding.
Is, what is your favorite coffee drink? I need a new one.
Okay. Well, I mean, you just made me a really good one, but I feel like my go-to right now, iced latte, vanilla bean syrup, and probably toasted marshmallow. I haven't really been doing cold foam as much lately. I haven't really been in the mood for cold foam, just legit, iced latte and 12-ounce cup. I don't know. I just, with my straw. That's just been my go-to right now. And that's
I usually do ice too. But the past few days have been doing warm. But I don't know if it's because colds are running through the houses and stuff like that. That makes me want a warm coffee.
No, legit though. Oat milk with honey has been my go-to just because we've been battling the preschool cold. You know what I mean? When you first put your kid in preschool and that first week and then everybody's sick.
Once they go into school, they bring home every disease that's ever existed.
Yeah. So I've been into the hot drinks as well, but that's just because we've been, it's been an illness.
Yeah. Otherwise, I will kind of go based on the seasons. I'm a basic girly. So in the fall time, I like my pumpkin. Mm-hmm. But during the other seasons, I change it up.
But you know what's really funny about us that people might not know is I hate pumpkin pie syrup. Ugh. And I only like pumpkin spice.
I only like pumpkin pie.
People don't even know there's a difference.
I only like pumpkin pie and I hate pumpkin spice.
I don't know what it is about pumpkin pie to me. And it's funny because we'll tell each other that each other's syrup tastes it just feels chemically or something. Yeah. And then we're
the one we agree on with that though is white chocolate.
Yes.
White chocolate tastes like chemicals. I can't do it.
Okay, we could probably keep talking about coffee forever. Anyway. So let's just keep going down this Q&A list.
Yes. So the next question is, how often do you suggest doing education or mentorships?
Ooh.
It's a really good question.
Okay, just to start with that question, because I told you in 2025, I'm trusting my gut. I'm going with my instincts. I'm legit. Sometimes I feel you get so into investing in education that you kind of forget to just do it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You forget to apply it. So I told myself 2025, we are not just going to default somebody hold my hand education. I'm just going to go out there and do it, which I feel that's what we're doing right now.
Yes. That's the thing with education. I absolutely love it. I think it's super important, especially if you're looking for somebody that's really well versed in a very specific thing, right? If you're wanting to learn about certain types of ads or just anything that's super niche, it's really good. Blogging, SEO, you know, stuff like that, where people are really educated on that subject. It's really good. But I do think there is like an education high, like chasing the
Yeah.
constant, like, ooh, somebody's putting this out. I should do that. And then they like,
I mean, I got swept up into it easily because
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, that's fun. That's fun. And like,
Yes.
I also like supporting people. And then I'm like, okay, Jamie, you have gained so much knowledge. You need to just do the
apply
damn
knowledge.
thing.
You know, too, that you've hit kind of that level and like, okay, I will preface this by saying there is always something to learn. You can always change things. You can always improve things,
Yeah.
right? But I feel like we both kind of hit that place where like, okay, we're constantly investing in education and we are like, we know what the educator is going to say before they say it.
It's yes, literally. Because I'm like, I'll get to a point where I'm like, I already knew that.
Yeah.
But it's like, is this a refresher? Do I need this refresher? And then like you get in your own head and you're like, am I not doing this right?
Exactly. So I guess to answer the question, I think it's really important when you first start to like get out there, see the different approaches that people use, because I think all of our approaches are like breadcrumbs of all the people that we've learned from put together. Like we take all the pieces that we like from other people and then we make it ours. And so I do think it's super important to like get out there, learn, shadow people, talk to people, do all that. But I do think that it's also important to like take a step back and apply that stuff to your business before just chasing that next education.
I mean, that's literally my goal this year is just, I want to apply what I learned last year because I spent a lot more time the last couple of years investing in learning Google ads, Meta ads, because ads are constantly changing. So I spent a lot of time investing in those things. And then also just like the one thing that I feel like is a game changer for me when it came to education was legit going through my numbers, looking at my numbers and figuring out, okay, here's a gap. This isn't working. This is most likely your problem. Let's test that theory.
Yes. This is a little bit of a like sidebar, but yeah, track everything.
Yeah.
Everything. I know Jamie and I both have spreadsheets for like inquiries.
I love spreadsheets.
Like, I get an inquiry. Okay. Like they're in my spreadsheet. Did they email me back? Did they schedule a consult? Did they like walking through all of that and scheduling everything? Because then you kind of know like where people fell off, where they didn't. And just with every aspect of your business, like pricing, clients, like all of it, website views, like we could just keep going.
We could legit just go down an education tangent. That might just be an episode on its own.
Yeah. I think we just came up with another episode.
But if we were to like actually circle back to the question, like how often do you invest in education? And I feel like I want to flip that question back on you. And it's like, what do you feel like you're struggling in that you want to learn?
Yes.
Like, what do you feel like you're struggling in? What do you feel like you don't know? And for me, I didn't know Google ads. I wanted to learn it. So I specifically sought out that specific topic.
And do you not know it, or are you just not confident enough to go out of the box and just try it?
Oh yeah. This is some tough love today. Okay, let's go to the next question.
Let's go to, I'll pick a little bit of a lighter question. Next,
Okay.
This one was funny. Is it appropriate to be a nutcase at your session? Because hi, that's me. And it gets me in the best moments and laughs.
I say yes.
Yeah.
The weirder, the better.
Yeah.
Because it keeps it, I don't know, maybe it's just my personality. I want you to be weird and goofy, because if you're standing there like not saying anything to me, I'm going to start quoting movies at you that you probably haven't seen and asking you if you like cheese. Because I'm like, I don't know what the Ricky Bobby hands. I don't know. Like
literally though. That's the one thing that I miss. Like I don't shoot too many family sessions anymore, but it's super fun to be like goofy.
Yes.
With the kids the whole time. Like by the end of the session, having them be like, that was fun, you know?
I feel kind of bad sometimes. Like when I do family sessions, I feel like I talk to the kids more than the parents, and I just want to play with the kids. And I'm like, well, no wonder kids like me. I legit just start playing with you. It's fine.
But even with clients, like I feel like I show up and I am just like not afraid to be me and like make weird jokes. A lot of mine are like really bad puns.
And
or,
I
like,
feel like
plays on
you
words.
make better art. If you're not afraid to be yourself, be a little weird or be a little whatever you is, you're going to be more authentic with your photos. And I know authentic is like a clicky word right now, but if you are not afraid to be yourself at your session, you're going to love the photos you're making, because like you weren't putting on a show, you weren't trying to do something, you weren't trying to be someone else. So just be yourself.
Exactly. And if your clients notice that you're comfortable, like, cause obviously if you're like cracking jokes and laughing with them, like you're comfortable. And so they'll know like, oh, I can be comfortable too.
Yes, you can. Oh my gosh, that was a good question. I like that one.
Okay. How do you figure pricing and packages?
Oh,
this is a
we're going
whole,
deep.
yeah. I think we should just like light overview this because I think this could be a whole.
This could be a whole episode. Honestly. Okay, why don't we bullet point this?
Yep.
Okay, figuring out pricing and packages. 1, cost of doing business. What does it cost you to get out of bed and pay your bills? Like literally, if you were just here's $5 because it cost me $5 for rent. Like what's
can
your
I
money?
say, I don't care if you are a stay-at-home mom, you still have bills.
Yes.
Because there's the argument of, well, but I'm a stay-at-home mom, so my money isn't needed.
No.
It doesn't matter. You still have to run your cost of doing business. It still costs you money to run your business, even if you...
It's still your time.
Yeah.
It's still your effort. It's still the electricity you use to plug your laptop in and put on Netflix.
Your equipment, your gas, your childcare, your like...
your gear, because your gear, like you have to buy your gear, but then you also, sidebar, you should also plan to buy new gear. Like even if you just bought a camera, you should start saving up to buy a new camera in probably 3 to 4 or 5 years.
Exactly. Yeah. Or even the time that it takes to like set up any like of your website and like all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Edit everything.
So I guess for sure, 1, cost of doing business. So, and also everyone's cost of doing business is going to be different. Like your cost of doing business is not going to look like me or Alex's. Like, yes, me and Alex both live in Iowa. We both live in Fixer Uppers, but like the cost for both of us to live is still different.
Right. Like
it's similar, but it's different.
It's similar, but it's different. Like some people have more kids than other kids. Some people have a secondary income. Some people have like college debt or vehicle payments or like all those things take into consideration.
Yeah. And like different goals even. Cause I know we've talked about like doing like a mortgage payoff challenge or something just because like we were following another TikTok creator, which RIP TikTok.
Oh my gosh.
But like, I just think that sounds like so much fun, but to other people that might not sound fun, but
right.
Just figuring out your numbers and what those numbers are, how those numbers are going to get you to your goals.
Yes.
And that's bare minimum. This is what I need. So, okay.
Okay.
Moving on from cost of doing business.
That's the first bullet point. I think the second bullet point, and this one is like, some people are like, no, don't do that. Like, I think though, you have to research your market. I know that some people say like, don't base your price off of somebody else's. And that's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying where you live does factor in. Like, because yes, if you are like super well seasoned photographer and you live in California and you're charging 10 grand for a wedding, and there that might be like normal. If you came to Iowa and you tried to charge 10 grand for a wedding, that might be a little bit more difficult than like a big metro area.
And not saying you can't do it. It's just like different groups of people live in different parts of the country too. And it's like, it's different normalities. What word am I looking for?
It's just a different like market. It's just different. And so not saying like, I think anybody should charge obviously what they need to charge. But I think doing that market research on your location and the need in your area can help you get a like really like solid jumping off point.
It's like trying to set up a BP in a Quick Star town. We're still going to Quick Star.
Quick Star.
Shout out Quick Star. We love you.
Not sponsored.
Hello, Wisconsin. No.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay. So cost of doing business, market research. Also, what do you want to get paid?
Yes.
Like, I feel like as women and as mom, we're like, oh, money, I don't need much, but it's like, what do you want to get paid? Do you want this to be your career? This is your job. You are not going to work for free.
Do you want to take your family on a vacation, or do you want to move, or are you just like wanting to pay your bills? You know, like what are you doing?
Like, and everyone's answer is going to be different. Like for me, I want to get paid enough to pay my bills and travel. Like for me, those are my big things that I want to do. That's on my goal list. I love taking vacations, or like not even like vacations, just legit traveling to national parks. I like being able to take my mom with me. And it's like, if I don't know my numbers, I can't just buy my mom a plane ticket.
Exactly. I have a spreadsheet for that.
I have a spreadsheet for that. Okay.
I have a like, okay, this is my goal of what I want to make. And then it breaks it down by like what I charge per wedding and session, and then what I need to make. Like,
I was going to say, how much are people going to want your spreadsheet after this episode?
Okay. Do you have anything else to add to that question?
I'm trying to think. So,
because I feel like it's really deep. Like
market research, how much you want to get paid, but also, I feel like those are the big bullet points.
Oh, I have one little bullet point.
Ooh,
when it
there's
comes
travel,
to like,
even.
Yes. And when it comes to like raising your prices, I have a little thing about this because
Okay, go off.
before when I thought like, okay, I'm going to raise my prices, I thought it had to be like dramatic. Okay. So when you like invest in education, you learn something and it adds to your client experience, you can raise it like $20.
Yeah,
$50.
$50.
You got a new camera, $50.
Right.
You know,
and
like
you don't have to announce it.
you don't have to announce it, but like all of those things add to your client experience. So anytime you add to your knowledge or to your client experience or to the things you offer, you can like incrementally raise it.
I have a sidebar medium spicy take.
Hit me with that mild rotel.
If you raise your prices, you're going to lose clients, and that's okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yes, because when I was booking weddings at the beginning of the year, I had my previous pricing and then it's like I started to get super booked and then I raised it because I was like, it's the whole like demand like thing. And so I raised it and yeah, my bookings have slowed, but I'm like, that's okay. Like, cause now I don't have to book as much as I was to make what I was making.
And it's okay
you know?
to still miss those clients that you like. I mean, when I first started, I was charging $50 for a session. And I think about those clients all the time. The ones that first trusted like everything in me and like paid for my sessions fee, no questions. And like, then as I gained more knowledge, I got better. I improved my business skills, my photography skills. And like, they told me straight up, like, I just can't afford you anymore. And it's not that we don't love you. And I'm like, it's not that I don't love you either. I totally respect your decision not to be able to come to me anymore. I will miss you. And I will still support you and cheer you on every time you share a photo, even if I wasn't the photographer that took that photo.
Yes. Yeah. I found my old pricing guide from like my second year. And I think I was charging like $1,800 for a wedding.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I should try to find mine. I know I have it. It's in my fireproof safe. I know I have old contracts, like old wedding contracts. So I should legit go find them. Because I used to have to do all before CRMs. If you haven't listened to our CRM episode,
go do that.
I used to do all physical contracts, meeting in person, physical signatures. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, physical signatures. Well, okay, I did that, but like clients lived far away, so we had to like mail it.
Yeah. Okay. Before we go down a rabbit hole, next question, Alex.
Okay. How do you be firm with clients on how to go about your sessions, styling, etc., especially ones that you wish to not follow or take in anything you suggest and tell them?
Ooh.
Okay, so if somebody books you and you're like, here are my suggestions, but then they don't take them.
Well, first off, right away, my initial thought is, okay, if you're comfortable and that's what you want to wear, that's fine. When it comes to my marketing, I'm most likely not going to share these photos because it doesn't represent what I'm trying to attract as a business owner, which is, again, totally fine. You don't have to share everything.
You do not have to share everything you shoot. I don't.
I guess my number one priority is if they don't want to take my advice and they are comfortable and confident in what they have already picked out, then that's fine. That has nothing to do with me.
At the end of the day, they're your client's photos, not yours.
Yeah. Like, yes, I took them. Yes, I'm the artist. Yes, I own the copyright. But I guess I got into the photography business to serve people and to make art for them and to make them like remember their memories. And like, yes, it makes me happy and it brings me joy. But at the end of the day, I love serving them. And if they're happy and that's what they want to wear, I'm happy.
Exactly. They're photos for my clients and for their memories. It's not for my Instagram feed.
It's not for my ego. I don't know.
Yeah.
It makes me happy seeing them happy. So like, it doesn't
I made a post like a month
me.
ago and I was like, I literally don't care if you show up with underwear on your head. Like if that's what you want to put on your wall.
only if we can shoot like a cover of Captain Underpants books. Do you remember those?
Yes.
Oh my God. Sorry, that just came to me like just now.
It was the Campbell's soup cup. It's like nostalgia.
I'm like full of nostalgia today. Also, I forget. It was either Gwen or Nora was showing me coffee cups downstairs.
Nora.
And the Nickelodeon classic cup. And I'm like, I love that cup.
I love having different coffee mugs.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Rambles, children distracting us with coffee. Yeah. No, it does not bother me if people don't take my advice. It bothers me to an extent of like, if they're giving me pushback and they're being rude to me, then,
Yeah, that's
then it's
different.
like, that's different. We didn't align client photographer relationship, and we probably shouldn't have like booked each other. Like if we didn't personality match, like, okay, we're probably not going to work together again. But like, if they want to wear clothes or something that don't follow my style guide, like if I like earthy tones, I just like earthy tones. Doesn't mean everyone else does.
Right. Okay. So then my other take on this is if you want to attract those clients that want you to want to have that vibe that you put out, right? I think that is where your marketing comes in, and you're talking with your clients and say like having it on your website and your first point of contact, like they know your vibe, they know your style, and you tell them before they book you, like, here's how the experience is. Here's how I will help you. Here is like, I will help you figure out what to wear if that's part of your experience. Like they know it off the bat.
Also, stop talking to like other people that are not in your market on your marketing. I know that was just like a mouthful. So like basically if you are posting something on your website or on your social media, legit like write it down as if you are sitting at a table with that client right in front of you. Like, this is what I want to do for you. This is what I'm doing for you. This is part of my experience. Like, don't just post something to impress someone else. Like you're literally posting to attract clients because that's what you like doing. And we're all different and we all like doing different things. So if you're trying to like keep up with the Joneses or whatever, keep up with XYZ famous photographer, I don't know. I'm like trying to think of who the Joneses are in the photography world, but like it's not going to work. And that's when you're going to run into more issues. And I also feel like when you're first starting out too, you're experimenting. So it's okay to run into those issues because I feel like me and you do this all the time. Once we run into an issue or a problem, we don't make that mistake again.
Yep. Everything is a learning experience.
Yeah.
Like everything has room to grow and change, and it's okay. Like it took me a long time to figure out my style and to like hit a point where I was like, okay, no, this is me. I'm comfortable with that. Like there's growing pains in your business. There always will be. And so just don't let
if there's not, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah. Like don't let little like setbacks hold you back. Like you look at them as like, okay, that did or didn't work. And how are we going to do it in the future?
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like good about that question.
Okay. So what's the biggest thing you've learned during your journey in photography? Guys, these are like deep questions.
These are deep. My biggest thing I've learned. Do you have your answer right now?
Okay. I have something kind of cheesy. And I think it really kind of like came to fruition. Like, okay, I know we're in like a month of this year, but like this year and the end of last year.
Yeah.
I think mine was like finding that I truly can do what I want to do. And the only reason, like I was holding myself back, and also like instead of just doing the things I wanted to do and like succeed in my business, I was constantly looking for validation before allowing myself to do those things.
Right. Like, and we don't need that.
I don't need other people's approval or validation.
I've been repeating this like a lot on like Snapchats, and I'm like, my toxic trait is remembering that I have my own free will. And I'm just like, I'm making my little sim master mad by doing what I want to do when I want to do it.
You sent me that in Voxer the other day, and you're like, I'm going to Quickstar because I have free will.
my children are asleep. My husband is home. I'm going to go to Quickstar. I'm going to go get a snacky snack. And I'm just like, this is great. I forgot that I could do this. But it's like, I feel like, I know that's just real, like mom life, Quickstar, going to get a snack by yourself.
Am
but
I
like,
the main character right now?
but like photography wise, like I feel like we forget that we got into business for ourselves to do this because we didn't want a boss. We didn't want someone else telling us what to do. We wanted to make our own art and find our own clients and do our own thing. And like, we don't need to ask for permission except when it comes to permits. No. But yeah, I don't know. The biggest lesson I feel like I've learned, maybe it has to do more with like community and like finding my people, and that it's okay to have a small group of people. Like you don't have to try to fit in with every single group out there. Cause like, for a while,
I think that kind of goes with seeking validation in a sense.
Because I feel like for a while I tried to maybe do newborn photography or family photography, and I'm like, no, that's not me. And like, I feel like it's just like just like kids growing up, like photographers growing up, like you're just figuring it out as you go. And I feel like
we're in high
that's
school.
the lesson.
What do you want to do for college?
I don't want to go to college. No. But like, yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. Like the biggest lesson is just keep going. Like it's growing pains. It's a mess, but it's all part of the fun. Like that's the part of life we like anyway.
Can I like add to this question and ask, because I have a favorite piece of business advice that I've lived by for years. I don't always like listen to myself when I say it, but I'll share mine. And then I wonder if you have one.
I do have one, but it's probably not as deep as yours.
Okay. My favorite business advice, or just like life advice in general, that I remind myself all the time is, don't take advice or criticism from somebody that you wouldn't trade places with.
Yep, yours is deeper than mine. But it's true. It's
I
really
think of
true.
it all the time, because I'm like, okay, if I like think about a situation where somebody like said something negative to me or gave me advice that like sucked to hear, like it was hurtful, I always think, okay, where are they at? Like not trying to be like, ew, I don't want to be that. Like, that's not what I mean. I'm just saying, like, where are they at? And is where they are at like something positive and where I would love to see myself going? And if not, like their decisions got them to that point. And so I'm going to value opinions and decisions from people that I would want to be in their place or want to grow toward.
I feel like that also goes with like the quote, like you're never going to be put down by someone who's doing more than you.
Yes.
Like however that quote goes, you know what I mean? Cause like, it's like, if you want to, if I want to trade places with you, I want to ask you questions.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing really well in business, I want to know what you're doing.
Almost as like the people at the top will help pull you up, but the people at the bottom will drag you down.
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like since you shared yours, I was going to say mine came from my dad and it was never work during lunch.
Like it.
Literally give yourself a break to be like, all right, this is what I did today. I'm going to go eat.
I like it.
And it's like, always give yourself a break pretty much. I feel like
I especially like that because your dad's been working in your basement and you're like, oh, he's at Village Inn right now eating. That's fine.
No, well, okay. So like I share my location with my family and it's so funny because like my dad always takes the same route to my house. And when I see he takes a different route, I'm like, he's going to go get food and he's not going to bring me any.
Take a break for lunch, then bring Jamie some.
Yeah, exactly. No. That was a good question. I like that.
Okay. So I have one here. We can answer this one. We did an episode on this, but it's, do you do 24-hour sneak peeks after the wedding? I'd love to hear your process on it. I always feel so guilty from being gone for my family all day and then working so much on Sunday.
I mean, I feel like we both do 24 to 48 hour sneak peeks. For me, it works out with destination work because if I'm flying home, I'm going to sit in the airport and work on it and listen to a podcast. It's super easy. It's just part of my workflow. If it's a more local wedding where I'm driving, then I usually still bring my laptop and I'm legit culling as I'm driving home. My laptop's just chilling in my passenger seat. And then, yeah, when I get home that night, it's part of my workflow when I get home from a wedding, whether it's destination or not, immediately getting backed up. And then, so like, it's like they're on the SD card, it's on my computer, and now it's also on like my server. So that I know all the raws are backed up. And then as it's backing up, I grab some sneak peeks. And then like, also if they had iPhone content, I'm uploading all of that iPhone content, to their gallery. So, because I guarantee that in 24 hours.
Yes. Yeah. I make mine part of my process too. So like when I get home from my wedding, when I'm backing up my images, I'm pulling some into Lightroom, editing sneaks, sending them out that night or the next morning. And then I take Sundays off completely. And so then handing them a handful of images, even if it's just like 5 to 10 is like, here's a little bit. So they have something to like look at and be happy. That kind of also gives you, not that you need the okay, but it kind of gives you this little bit of an okay of like, okay, you can take a day off to rest because you have wedding hangover right now.
Yeah.
And then you can get back to work on Monday. So I just make it part of my process.
But I'm also wondering if like the heart of this question is like a comparison trap of like, should I be doing this? Like,
You do not have to.
Like, cause I feel like this question is deeper than just what is your process.
Yeah. I think if you are thinking like, oh, well, somebody's booking people because they do 24-hour sneak peeks, that's not why.
No, people don't book you off of your features in your packages. They book you off of the experience and how you made them feel.
Exactly. So
and how you can solve their problem by treating them well, pretty much.
Yes. If it is realistic for you to add it into your workflow to do it, then do it. If it is something that is stressing you out, do not include it. It will not cost you clients.
I mean, I know some photographers, it's 1 week for sneak peeks, but then like at the 1 week mark, instead of 5 photos, they can deliver 50 or something like that.
Right, exactly.
So you don't have to do it. It's just, this is but like even our 24-hour sneak peeks, I'm delivering usually like 20. And like every once in a while, I'll surprise somebody with like 50. But like
mine's usually 10 to 20.
Yeah, it's a small sneak peek.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next question.
Dun 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 dun. Ew, the video makes it look like I have a beard. So
okay, it's solo wedding day, and you have an emergency with your kid/kids. What do you do?
I don't do anything, which that sounds really bad. I probably should have thought about that before I just spoke. But I trust my village 100%. The people that have my children when I am at a wedding, they can handle the problem.
Yeah. If my kid is like sick or throwing up or whatever, like my people can handle that. My people will handle my people. You know what I mean?
Because like it's just who, like, I have 3 people that I trust with my children, and my children are with those 3 people. And I also know that, like, depending on the emergency, the adult people are not going to contact me about the tiny people unless it was a car accident or it's like a serious sort of life or death emergency. If it's just someone sick, I'm still going to work.
Right. Exactly. And I feel like this also kind of goes back to like how important having that village is, even if it's tiny. Like, it's just important to have that support system.
And I don't even feel like that takes away from putting your family first over work. I feel like it depends on the emergency. If it's a serious like life or death emergency, yeah, I'm blowing up your phone, Alex, Amy, Nicole, Grace, like literally shout out all of the people. Like I will blow up their phone if it's a serious life or death emergency to cover me for work. But if it's just someone sick, hey mom, I'll give you $100. Like,
or
sorry.
even honestly, like somebody like broke their arm or something. It's like, you'll be okay.
Like it sucks not to be there. Like, of course, like if Mercer broke his arm or something like that. But I do know that my mom, who usually has my boys when I'm at weddings, or Mark, my husband, they got it handled. Like, this is the insurance cards. They know what to do. Right.
And honestly, I mean, how many like weddings and stuff are we shooting a year? You know, so it's like there's only like one in like 20 days. Like, you know, so hopefully like nothing.
But also I feel bad. I hope like I didn't just sound like I'm dismissing your fear or your concerns about like emergencies on a wedding day, because it's definitely something you think about when you're starting to have kids. I don't know if this question, like if they have kids or they're pregnant or something like that. So like if you are just starting your family, I feel like when I was first pregnant with Mercer, it was like, oh my God, it's like, just like when you think that birth is going to be the hardest part of parenting and it's the easiest, like in hindsight, like I feel like it isn't as scary to think like emergency wise.
Yeah, exactly. So somebody just said, hi, I just discovered your podcast and I'm listening from episode 1. In that episode where Jamie, I believe, was talking about her Dubsado workflow. That would be Jamie.
Hell yeah.
In automation, she mentioned her client welcome box. Could you guys talk about that? What do you include, if they're worth it, if you should start doing them, and if they're beneficial?
Ooh, okay. I like welcome boxes. I like them. And I know I responded to this person on Instagram. And it's funny because when I responded to her on Instagram, I think it was like 11:30 at night. And I was like, don't quote me on Alex's opinion at the moment, but my opinion is they do not make or break a client experience. Everyone loves receiving gifts. Everyone does. But gifts are not the end all be all of an amazing client experience. And I like doing them because I think they're fun. I think
it satisfies the instant gratification.
Yeah.
Like, so when somebody books you and you immediately gift them something, it's like they're already benefiting off of what they invested in.
Well, and it's because like they're buying something from you that they will not see for me, it's like 6 to 9 months, or for you, it's like 12 to 18 months.
Yeah, sometimes it's like 2 years.
And it's like they pay for their package up front, and then their wedding's not for so long. So the reason I like doing gifts is, like what, literally exactly that.
Yeah, exactly. But again, I don't think it's one of those things where it's like, oh, I'm not doing that. It kind of goes back to the whole sneak peek thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to make or break your.
And things that I include in my welcome box, it's very on brand for me. I do a lot of national park stuff. I love postcards. So like I support like another small business so I'll give my clients a national park scented candle. And then like, sometimes I do stickers or patches or, honestly, I take things from what my clients have said to me on our initial consult call, and then I try to put it in their welcome box.
That's super cute.
So like I try to keep it personal, and I very much, I guess I pride myself on listening to my clients. And then like, if they say something, I usually try to give it back to them.
I love that. That's super cute. So for me, I took the easy, like I'm a busy mom route, and I have used a few different curated boxes. So there's like Box Fox, Greetable, Simone LeBlanc. I used that one for a while, and it made like it was like a morning kit. So it had like dried oranges and pure maple syrup and like pancake. Cause I was like, oh, it's so cute. Like they could have like a morning date. Or one that I was thinking about doing again recently was like a at home like pizza making kit, or like a movie night kit. And so then it gives them an excuse to like have a date time together.
I mean, honestly, thinking back to when I was a bride and I booked Chelsea, and Chelsea was the only photographer that gifted me something. And I worked with Chelsea, Jamie, and Amelia. I love all of them. I love all of them. But I remember, cause I had a really bad experience with 2 videographers for my wedding, and it was so nice to receive something, and it was an emergency kit sort of thing. It was like Box's little emergency kit.
I used to do that when I had like an emergency kit, and then like vow books
that lived in my purse forever. Like I still use parts of it.
Yeah.
But like, I just remember like, oh my God, thank you for thinking about me. It wasn't necessarily what was even in it. It was just like, thank you for thinking about it. Even though I'm a photographer, like I loved getting it, but like I still love my other photographers who didn't do anything either. So like, I don't feel like it made or broke. There we go.
Made or done did break did.
And English is hard. No. But like, yeah, no, I don't feel like it's totally necessary, but I personally like finding objects. I have an overall reaching theme of national park, nature, but that just goes with my brand and me. And yeah, that's pretty much how I do welcome boxes. I also do post-wedding boxes, which is prints and a thank you card and like a cute little something to keep their prints in.
That's so cute.
I switch it up like every year though.
Yeah.
So I don't like those are just like my pre-wedding welcome box and my post-wedding box.
Yeah, I switch mine up a lot too.
Oh, and a USB. I always include USB drives in the post-wedding box because
That's nice.
I guess selfishly it makes me feel better knowing they have at least one physical backup.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Hi, I just found you and listened to your podcast. I have a question. I'm currently Team Honeybook. Heyo.
Boo.
But not sure how to add an automation. I'm currently doing everything manual. How do I start figuring out how to do this? Okay. So we talked about this. I think we're going to need to at some point do some like visual thing for like Dubsado Honeybook workflows. Okay. But in the meantime, off the top of my head, when you're in Honeybook, I'll keep this super fast, simple, easy. And then if you have more questions, you can always DM us. But you go into the top of the menu and it says automations at the top. You'll click that and then you can start creating an automation with like little steps. Like it'll make like almost a little timeline that goes downward. And so you'll hit like add an email or whatever. And then you can pick your template. You can pick when it sends out and then it'll be like the next step and you can pick X amount of days after whatever. And that's how you like build your custom timeline in Honeybook. And I'm pretty sure Dubsado is similar.
It's roughly similar. Yeah. We're legit talking about this the other day about doing a video walkthrough and adding it to our YouTube channel.
Yeah. It needs to be a visual thing because I feel like this can get
it's very hard to explain that over a podcast.
Yes. But that's what your automation button is. And then in Dubsado, is it called a workflow?
Yeah. So okay. Dubsado, it's if you're looking at your home screen on Dubsado, you go all the way down on the left, and it's going to be under workflows, and then you can start to make your workflow. But you're Team Honeybook, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's right. Because Dubsado's like menu is on the left-hand side, right?
Yep.
And it goes down. Okay, Honeybooks is like across the top.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we'll make videos on that because
we need some visual aids, but we legit, you can always reach out to any of us if you have Dubsado or Honeybook questions. I'm not saying we know everything, but I feel really confident about my girl Dubsado. So
Honeybook. Okay. Last question.
Okay. Last question, guys.
Okay. Hi, I just found your podcast and I'm hooked. Heyo.
Hell yeah.
I'm a mama of 2, photographer, and I also have yet to quit my full-time job. I have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, and I want to know what a good timeline for gallery delivery is. I currently have my contract at 4 to 6 weeks and have been able to deliver, but during busy season, I feel like it was taking every single fiber of my being to hit that goal. Should I extend my promise to deliver to 6 to 8 weeks, or is that too much from a client perspective? What tips can you give me? This is a great question and an all too real feeling.
Yeah, seriously. Because I also have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and I was going through all the feels of feeling bad that my gallery turnaround time for weddings last year was 7 to 8 weeks when it used to be 3 to 4. And honestly, that's just kind of the transition I was in last year. 1-year-old, 3-year-old.
Mm-hmm. You can change this based on your season. Like what Jamie and I always say is like, you live in seasons when you're a mom in your business. Like you just have to do things based on what season you are currently in, and it can change when that season is over. So for me right now, yes, I tell my clients that now that I will deliver their gallery within 4 weeks because my 2 kids, my older 2 are older and my youngest will be 2 next month. And having my husband home, it's like, yeah, I can hit that goal now. I used to not be able to. It used to be 6 to 8 weeks just so that I could have that peace of mind. But yeah, I think definitely here's another idea for this too. I was just thinking of this as I was talking, is if you know that you are great with that delivery time and you like that 4-week delivery time, but then during busy season, it's really hard for you, you can have like on season price increases. So like if you are like, okay, no, September and October, I'm so busy, raise your prices during those months so that you are still making more money, but you're taking on less.
I feel like I just relate because my kids are the same age. Finding after shoot was really helpful. Yep. That helped me stay on track. If you are comfortable with outsourcing, if that will help ease your peace of mind, like you can even cull it all the way down. You can do base edits and then you can like send it out for someone else to finish your base edits. And then if they bring that workload back to you 80% done, and then you only have to do the last 20%, I feel like that can help you a ton. So yeah, AI programs, an editor, outsourcing. Also, don't feel bad about 6 to 8 weeks. 6 to 8 weeks is still industry standard.
Yeah, that's still good. And what I'm thinking too of like price increases during busier seasons, I know that that's like more popular with like family photography stuff. Wedding pricing is usually typically like straight across the board, but I know a handful of photographers that are like portrait and family who will have different seasons or different prices for different like seasons.
You know what I just thought of? Circling way back to question 2, where we're talking about like cost of doing business.
Yes.
Another tip that you can do is while you're building your packages, build in an editor. So if it costs $300 to outsource a wedding, build that into your package, immediately send that wedding out. They already paid for the editing portion, like that extra editor. And then you don't have to worry about it because you literally already did your cost of doing business with an included editor.
Another idea is to have that longer editing time. So just say like, okay, yeah, you're in a season where it takes you 6 to 8 weeks to edit sessions or weddings, which again is not bad at all. You can have an upcharge for rush editing.
I have one of those. I'm not saying people use it all the time, but
it's an option. So like if somebody is like, hey, I actually would like this in a week or 2, you can upcharge that.
And if you do rush editing, like, and if you're asking like, well, what should that fee be?
Right.
What is a fee that will make you put your children in daycare for 1 to 2 days and for you to get that done ASAP?
What is your like price per hour on that? And how many hours will it take you to edit it?
No, I feel like that's a really good question. And also like really don't feel bad about 6 to 8 week turnaround time. That is so normal, in my opinion.
Now, if you were saying like
14, like 12 to 14, if you were saying 12 to 14,
I would be like,
we listen and we don't judge.
out loud.
No, I'm still team. I think anything past 12 weeks is too long, but
6 to 8.
6 to 8 is totally normal.
I think that's like the standard.
I feel like, and as long as it's in your contract,
like
as long as it's communicated, as long as you're always emailing your client, being upfront with them.
To cover my butt in my contract, mine used to say 8 to 10.
But
I never delivered.
Mine
that
says
long.
8 with no longer. It says 8 with like not exceeding 12, like however legal language.
Just to like cover butt. But otherwise, like, yeah, I used to deliver mine like last year. It was probably around the 7 to 8 week long mark because I had a baby, like a newborn. And now I'm like, oh no, I can get that out.
And I feel like this wedding season, I will be 1.5-year-old, 4-year-old, like,
it should be a little easier.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit more confident, I guess, going into this wedding season because they're gaining independence, which means I don't have a newborn on me. So
the older they get, the easier it gets until they like now
easier
Nora
work wise, but
yes, but not that's a whole other thing. But like then there's like sports and stuff like that too. So like you might be a little more busy, but it is easier in your downtime to edit and then like school and all that. So yeah.
I feel like this was a good Q&A. Oh my gosh, we went really long on this episode today, so that was good.
That is a long episode, but I feel like it was like jam-packed.
Yeah, but if you guys have more questions, we would love to keep doing Q&A episodes, like, I don't know, every 10. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see how many questions we get. We'll keep it going, and if you ever have them, you can DM us, you can email us, you can
ask them in our Facebook group. Yeah, we're doing big things over here, so
we're so excited.
Yeah,
more to come.
Yeah, more to come, guys.
Dream big.
Awesome. Okay. So we're just going to cut the episode here. And if you guys want to reach out to us, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Apple, Spotify, YouTube.
You can't say TikTok anymore.
I can't say TikTok. We'll see what happens with TikTok, y'all.
Pending
TikTok. All right. Bye, guys.
Cameras and car seats.
Oh my God. No. I'm trying to say bye, typical Midwest, and we're just still talking. It's fine.
Bye.
This is us actually hanging up. My hand is on the doorknob.
Midwest goodbye.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
Bye.